Hi there, welcome back. I wanted to talk to you today about a topic: revenue generation, expansion, revenue growth. I've covered in some previous videos some of my most tried and true and tested ways that I tell clients to go about revenue increases. One of those is product mix, one of those is what I would call price discovery, and I've covered that in another video, and you can look at that video and determine what we mean by price discovery. Basically, you're probably not charging the right price for many of your services or products. And today, what I wanted to discuss is some of the other ways you can increase revenue beyond price discovery, beyond product mix, offering different products or services. And that would be the concept of non-tangibles. Now, what do we mean by non-tangibles? Essentially, things that are not necessarily services or products, or perhaps they're some sort of a hybrid, but they're essentially you're selling an idea more than anything. Now, sometimes a product or a service is attached to those, but really it's the idea that you're trying to sell, and that's what I want to cover today. Now, I mainly deal with HVAC contractors, but this is going to apply to many different types of businesses. So no matter what line of work that you're in, hopefully you're going to discover something here that you can utilize. Now, I wrote a book years ago, and this is just a little excerpt from it. And essentially there's 5 categories of the non-tangibles that I cover, and we'll hit a little bit on each one. Extended product warranties is the first one. Now, we've all had this occur in our daily lives, right? We go to Best Buy or some other store, Walmart, Verizon, wherever you shop and buy your electronics, and they'll ask you, hey, do you want an extended warranty on this product? And most of the times we say no, but there's a percentage of people that say yes. Most of those people are unaware that their actual credit card already offers an extended warranty on electronics most of the time, but that's neither here nor there. They still get upsold on the extended warranty. Now, who is offering that warranty? Who's backing that warranty? Because let's talk about warranties for a second, and warranties may be the actual only thing that we get to cover in this video. Let's just take cell phones as an example, and then we'll try to build off of that. So when you purchase a cell phone, say it's a Samsung cell phone at Best Buy, and you buy the extended warranty, that warranty is not backed by Samsung, most likely, nor is it Best Buy. It is usually the end backer of that warranty is an insurance company. Now, whomever is selling you that warranty is going to reap the revenue and the profit off of that. But their cost goes towards paying the insurance company that is backing the warranty. So let's say Best Buy is actually selling the warranty, for instance, in this example. And Best Buy selling the warranty. They are capturing the profit off of those sales. They have the gross revenue, which is the sale of the warranty. They have the cost to service the warranty, which is actually them paying a premium to this insurance company that is covering the warranties. And by covering the warranties, I mean if that cell phone breaks or is damaged in that warranty period, the insurance company ends up being the one that offers the replacement check. In other words, the check for the value of the device, or for reimbursing you, or for buying you a new device. Now, in return, that insurance company wants to receive that phone. And yes, there are insurance companies that do this. In fact, I know of one here close in the southeast that does this a lot. They're actually one of the largest manufacturers. Well, I shouldn't say manufacturers. One of the largest insurance companies that's involved in this business. They take in thousands of cell phones a day in semi-trailers and take them to their facility and refurbish them. But they want your broken cell phone in return, and then they'll turn around and they'll refurbish that, and then they're going to make money on the back end and recoup some of that cost by selling that refurbished cell phone. So Samsung and these other companies that manufacture your original phone rarely ever touch your broken phone. It's usually insurance companies that offer this warranty deal. But anyways, the long and short of it is this. Best Buy is selling a product, which they're making money off of, and they're also selling a warranty, which they're making a profit off of. But they're not actually the ones doing the warranty work, and they're not the ones actually being the, I wouldn't say adjusters, but the backers of the warranty. That's third party to somebody else. Now, in your business, you may be selling a product or service where you can sell warranties as well. And depending on what you're selling, that may be a small, lucrative addition to your revenue. Now, you may or may not be in a business to where certain financial institutions will actually back the warranty that you sell. That may actually happen. If they do not, it wouldn't take much calculation for you to figure out if you could actually back that warranty yourself. You could simply look at the number of repairs you've had to do, the most costly repair you would have to do some math, and figure that out. There are professionals that actually do that, do all those mathematics for the insurance companies. You can hire one of them if you'd like to, but that can get a little bit pricey. But depending on what you're doing, that should be a pretty cut and dry idea, okay? So that's extended product warranties. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to hit some of these other ones as well while we're here. We probably won't cover all 5, but custom shop orders. Now, in my book, I used the example a pocket knife manufacturer. Okay, so the custom shop order is really more of an idea than an actual service or a product, and I'll tell you why that is. If you'll notice, most manufacturers who offer a custom shop option, that custom shop is really not custom, is it? Usually that custom shop is basically a upper tier of product where you have better material choices, more desired craftsmanship, but your choices are still defined and limited within a certain bounds. The reason that is done is because they want to limit their exposure and maximize their profit. I've already got your product on the assembly line running through my shop. For me to deviate it from line A to line B to go over to the custom shop is not that big of a deal. But because I'm giving you this custom shop label, I'm going to charge you a premium for these services and or material upgrades. And that's basically the custom shop mentality. That's pretty easy to implement through online ordering or what have you, however you intake your orders. And you can apply that. Now, that's usually done for products more so than services. It's hard to do custom shop services in the service sector like a home contractor. But however, there could be ways for you to do that. You could have a premium line of products, which you are a direct rep for, or perhaps you are not. You could have a premium line of accessories to go along with the services that you provide for the homeowner. So there's ways to borrow from that idea and utilize it no matter what your business is. Product repair services. This too is kind of more leaning towards product because basically a service business, especially home contractors, that's what you're doing is service. But from the product repair services, many manufacturers can offer that as a premium. I think I used the example. I didn't call them out by name. But I'll call them out by name here. Danner Boots up in Washington State or Oregon one. I don't quite remember. They offer a rebuild for your boots. Essentially, if your leather uppers on your work boots are still in decent condition and are not, obliterated, you can send your boots off, fill out a form, and within so many weeks you'll get your boots back. The leather will be polished. You'll have new laces, new eyelets, grommets, new soles, welts, everything. Everything's rebuilt. It's going to look like a brand new boot, but yet it's going to be broken in because it's your boot. And that's very advantageous and desirable for many people, especially if you ever wore a set of Danners. They take about 6 weeks to break in. They're pretty tough. I think I've had mine for about 10 years. But they do that, and that's a great source of revenue for them. Now, when you think about it, that's not that big a deal for them, right? I mean, they already have all those services there. They're only going to accept a boot in a certain condition. For them to deconstruct the boot is a little bit of work. For them to reconstruct the boot, it's not that big a deal because it's already on the line, and they don't really have an assembly line per se. They have different stations, which is really ideal in a manufacturing setup like that. So that works out really well for them. If there's a way for you to borrow that concept for your own business, you should. If it doesn't add headache, if it utilizes station space and time that's otherwise not being utilized, that's a good additional service to provide. Now we're going to go to owners clubs. When I think of owners clubs, I think of, OnePlus cell phones. I think they have a bit of a owners thing going there. At least they advertise it on this phone all the time. I haven't joined it. You also have the idea of Harley Davidson, the Harley Owners Group. That's a huge part of their marketing initiative. That's essentially what it is. The Owners Club is a marketing initiative because when they go out and they recruit the different dealerships to become chapter heads and leaders, that additional revenue that's brought in that store, but through clothes purchases and things like that, goes towards the overall revenue of the Harley Davidson Motor Company in general. But what happens is it's the events and the marketing aspect of that that's actually creates the additional revenue. So that's kind of a double-edged sword right there. But it cuts in your favor both directions. It's additional marketing and customer retention, and it promotes more revenue. And the last one, of course, is subscription models. This needs no explanation. You see this all over the internet. Probably any number one of us is, subscribed to so many subscription models we can't count. Software, hardware, whatever. Everybody wants to have you on a subscription basis, recurring revenue every single month, if possible. So that one's pretty much self-explanatory. And there's a way for you to do that for your business. That's great. I have mixed feelings on that personally. There are some subscription models I would offer, but for that to be my only way of selling a product, I would probably, or a service, I would go against that. Some customers are turned off by that idea. And perhaps you don't care and you don't really want those customers, and that's fine. But if you want the widest group of customers you can get, you probably need to offer both for sale, you own fully, or subscription, basically you're leasing. And I think that's a good mix. So those are the non-tangibles, non-tangible ways for you to increase revenue. So consider those. See if there's something you can adapt, borrow, or steal for your own business, and see if you can get your revenue numbers up. Because if you get your revenue numbers up, then that extra profit that you're bringing in there's more things you can do to help your business grow even more. Thank you.